Hello, 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 and welcome to the Slamcast. I'm your host, Greg. Let's get into it. Hope you're all having a lovely day right now as of this recording. I believe today, at least for what am I trying to say? Northern easterly region of North America. I don't know how far spread it is. I think it's mostly North America, the northern hemisphere. But today is the coldest day of the year, and it shows. I was outside for probably 10 minutes shoveling snow, and yeah, I was really bundled up, and I wasn't cold, but I had quite a shit ton of layers on, so it was bad. And just as I was getting inside, it was starting to take its toll on me, I could tell. But yeah, so I hope when you're listening to this, however you're listening to this, whatever day you're listening to this, you're nice and bundled up and warm inside. Assuming you're listening to this any time around this episode's recording. Because goddamn, it's cold. Let me actually look it up right now. How cold is it where I am? -21 feels like -31. Brutal. And with the extreme cold warning. Gotta keep indoors, lock it down, close it up, watch yourself. But yeah, super cold days like these, it's pretty interesting to be outside. You see the effect it has on the human body, at least the exposed, few bits of exposed skin, mainly like the facial region. Because you start feeling things in certain ways that you don't really feel because of just the cold air in general. Like even the first few steps I took outside, just inhaling the air, like that sharp winter air, especially when it's super cold, and it just like cuts your throat. It's pretty interesting stuff. Yeah. So yeah, small talk, talking about the weather. Good stuff. Good way to bring back the podcast after a week absence. So yeah. Speaking of which, I mentioned last episode that I would be taking next week off, which I did because I was studying for a exam. And I'm glad I didn't record it because of that exam, I really didn't have any material lined up for that week. And also, honestly, I don't really have any material lined up for this week. So this could be a much shorter episode than most, since I just had the exam yesterday. And in case you're curious, I don't think it went all too well. Studied my ass off for it, but I mean, with the exam for a course like advanced calculus, I mean, could you really expect it to be a cakewalk? So yeah, maybe I'll keep you guys updated on that once I find out my final mark for that course, but I probably won't, because it probably won't be great. But, who knows? Hopefully I'll do good. Hopefully I'll manage. So yeah, I wasn't prepared that week, and I was super stressed out about that exam and studying for it. So I didn't have anything. I really don't have anything this week. But it just goes to show, going back to what I think is my last recording, the effects of stress on the mind, and not the body necessarily, but on the mind, because even a week before this exam, I was already putting off stuff, because like now, aside from going to work, like 9 to 5, like everything else besides normal, just like recreational stuff, I've just been putting off until this weekend because in my head it's like, don't want to waste time working on that or doing that or whatever, you know. I just want to put that off until like all my studying's done and then this exam's done, and then I can like get back to all my hobbies and stuff. Like I have a mental list of things I want to buy and things I want to check out, stuff like that, projects I want to try and start up or little side things I want to do. Honestly, can't even think of anything right now at the moment. I should really make a physical list of it now that it's all out of the way, just so I can remind myself. But yeah, I just find it interesting. I don't know about you guys. I always like to put stuff aside entirely. I don't like to waste time, even though I'll probably end up wasting time with just procrastinating type things. But speaking of procrastinating, I feel like I'm putting off what I built up so much. At the end of my last recording, I built up, I was like, oh, gonna do a Valentine's Day podcast thing. Gonna talk about Valentine's Day because as of this recording, Valentine's Day is actually in a few hours. A quarter of a day? Yeah. Just under a quarter of a day until Valentine's Day. And at the moment of that recording, I thought to myself, like, yeah, I'm going to talk about all this stuff, yada yada. It's going to be great. It's going to fill up the whole half an hour, friggin' whatever. I don't even know. And then just as these 2 weeks, because that's how long it's been too. I take off 1 week, and it's been 2 weeks since my last recording. I had all this planned up, and then as I started thinking about what I was going to talk about more and more, I was like, this is, not that I don't have anything to contribute on the concept of Valentine's Day and the event itself, but it's just like, I thought I had like a half hour's worth of speaking about it, but I feel like I really don't, which honestly isn't a problem. It's just the way it is. That's why I should be making lists, because today I do not have a list of things to talk about. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel a little lost. Whatever, it's fine. It's a good thing to practice every once in a while. But yeah, I also really didn't even feel like recording today. I just felt super lazy, and also the fact that I didn't have a list of things to talk about ready. For some reason, I'm very fixated on this whole half-hour topic thing, which I really shouldn't be. It's my own show. I should just make every episode as long as I can talk for. But maybe I should try this more, seeing as how I was so not wanting to start recording today because of it. I should try and maybe like once a month or something. If I really don't have anything to talk about, I should just go in, like, do it noteless. Do a noteless run. For you speedrun fans out there. But yeah, I might as well just talk about it. Let's talk about Valentine's Day. Let's get right into the concept of the event. Basically, my feelings about Valentine's Day. Quick disclaimer before we get into all this, because I feel like it's important. I have been single my whole life. Never been in a real serious relationship, so I feel like that disclaimer is important for any sort of opinions I may have about Valentine's Day within the next little bit that I talk about it. And it's not to say that I'm gonna get all mopey and stupid about Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day is dumb because I never go on dates on Valentine's Day and I want to kill myself. No, that was high school Greg. He's dead to me. We got a new and improved Greg. He's got 100% more monotone, 200% more facial hair. And that's not a lot. That's like 200% of 0.001. So, I mean, whole new Greg is buy them at your Toys R Us today with new Judo Chop action. We're all out of stock of high school Greg action figure toys. Nobody wants them. I don't want them. That was a joke, folks. That was a joke. And I feel like it sounded way too monotone for that delivery. I apologize if nobody found that funny. I'm just going to end it after this recording. Also, got to go a little easy on the suicide jokes. It's for a different time. That's for when I bring friends on and then shit gets haywire. You'll see about that eventually. I'm going to start looking into that, getting people on this shit show that I call a podcast. So yeah. Valentine's Day. Hey, listener, are you alone on Valentine's Day? Do you feel like shit because of it? Don't. Whatever. It's fine. Just focus on you. You do you. It's not a big deal. Nobody cares. Let's be honest. The only people who care are yourself. So, you just gotta get over it and be like, nah, I gotta love me. And I'm not talking about that way, folks. I mean, if you want to, do that. But I mean, you just gotta appreciate yourself, You gotta be happy with the person you are first before you start moping about wanting a Valentine's Day date. Or whatever the hell I'm even talking about right now. So, you single people out there, don't even worry about it. It's fine. Everybody's gonna forget about it day after Valentine's Day. Everybody's just back to their own thing. It's fine. Don't even fret. But yeah, Valentine's Day itself, I was thinking about it. My opinion on Valentine's Day. Personally, I think it is fine. I actually really enjoy the idea of Valentine's Day. It's kind of like a weird, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, and from what media tells me, Valentine's Day very much seems like a sort of second anniversary date of the year. Like you have your actual anniversary date with whoever you're with, or just a special day in general. For the not so serious relationships on Valentine's Day. And you kind of just get a second one. Which is the only issue I have with it is that everybody, I'm going to explain this poorly, but it's like everybody has that special day at the same day, you know what I mean? Like that's my issue with Valentine's Day, and it's not even the commercialization of it. Like, whatever. Capitalism, we live in America, it's cool, whatever. But I just feel like, and I know this will never happen, but I feel like we should spread out Valentine's Day like over a week or like over a few days instead of just one single day, because, and I don't mean that in the sense that every day of those spread out days you gotta celebrate Valentine's Day with your significant other or whatever. Like, there just has to be like a window of more than a day where it's like you can celebrate Valentine's Day anytime in this whole week or anytime in these 3 days. I feel like even if Valentine's Day was like 2 or 3 days, like longer, in the like a window, it's like a 2-day window instead of this 1-day window. I just feel like Valentine's Day would like just be so much better in the sense of like, it's just, okay, hold on. I got a story that'll kind of explain everything better. Back in second year of school, at university, I used to live at a different house, not the house I currently live at, in Guelph for school. And for some reason on Valentine's Day, I believe it was Valentine's Day. It had to have been at this point. Sometime in the evening. I don't know why, but I was heading to Zayre's on Valentine's Day. Probably to pick up some hand lotion, some moisturizer. Get it, folks? That's another joke. I'll be here every week, on the hour, every hour. Masturbation jokes. It's solid. It's lit, folks. Anyways, I don't know what I was buying. It was probably a masturbation joke product. Probably actually not, though. And I saw, I kid you not, I kid you not, it's not that surprising. But there was this Zehrs for people in Guelph. It was the Zehrs off at the Courtright and Edinburgh intersection. They have a flower section there, and there was just a lineup of men of varying ages, all just getting like either bouquets or just some sort of flower arrangement or something. And I just kind of looked at it and I was like, because like, it's not that there's a problem with these guys getting flowers. It's just that there's a line of them. So you could tell, and because it's the evening, and most of them were like gentlemen who didn't look like they were in university. Some of them did. Most of them looked like they were married for however many years, possibly had families, or just like young married couples type age. And it just goes back to my whole window theory. Is like, I feel like if there was a window there, like we wouldn't have restaurants being extremely packed on Valentine's Day and dudes making last minute gifts. Cause like, even if you, cause like you could be busy like the whole month of February up until Valentine's Day, and all of a sudden Valentine's Day happens, you're like, shit, I don't have anything, which I feel like to some degree, most of these guys were in this boat. And I feel like if you had that like extra day or whatever, you could just like, not necessarily put it off, but plan more ahead than just being like, okay, on my way to home, I'm going to grab flowers. Not saying that that's a bad thing. If you're just planning on doing that because you and your significant other are like cool with that or whatever, that's fine. It's just, I feel like a majority of these men, and I'm probably not wrong here, I could be though, most of these men probably are just like, shit, today's Valentine's Day, I've been busy with work. Or, you know, not to say it's just men that have to come with flowers. You know, I'm sure women are also in the same boat where they're like, shit, I've been busy with work for the past 2 weeks, or just busy with other things in general. I haven't been able to get anything awesome, and I don't want to let my significant other down, or whatever. So I feel like you spread that out, like make it a Valentine's Day, like a week-long window. Not a week-long celebration, but like a week-long window, or like a 2 or 3 day long window. It'd just be better, because it's not like, oh, I didn't make reservations for a restaurant, let's go find a restaurant. Oh shit, we can't find any fancy restaurants, because we're going to have to go to a restaurant that we normally go to, so it's not as special, even though today's a special day kind of thing. Like, am I making any sense here? Because I feel like that would just solve a lot of practical Valentine's Day problems for everyone. So yeah, that was my main thing about Valentine's Day. I really don't have anything else about it. I don't have a problem with Valentine's Day itself. I think it's great. I just feel like the fact that everybody's celebrating it on the same day is just very problematic. And I feel like probably coming from this like a capitalist perspective, like more money would probably be spent if there was like a window. But that's the thing, is like, how do you implement that, or how do you explain that? It's like, oh, that day's Valentine's Day, but we're gonna make it like we're gonna turn Valentine's Day into a week-long thing now. You can't just change that. It's a holiday. It's not like a Hanukkah or something. You can't just make a one-day holiday like a week-long holiday or something. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even a holiday. It's just a window. Because I feel like if you were to move your Valentine's celebration with your significant other like a day ahead, or a day before, or like the weekend before, or like the weekend after, like you'd probably have like a much more lax time, because you'd probably just be like, nobody else would be celebrating, or not a lot of other people would be celebrating Valentine's Day then. So, you know, all the restaurants are like, not all of them, but most of them, like, you don't need reservations for, and you don't have to make these reservations like weeks in advance, and you don't have to worry about getting flowers on that specific day. You can just get them later, or whatever present. Like, there's no rush. You feel me, folks? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you understand how I'm feeling about this? But yeah, that's Valentine's Day. Only real issue I have with Valentine's Day, going back to what I was saying earlier, is just all the people who complain about, I'm alone on Valentine's Day, which I feel is like more of a high school thing. I'm seeing that a lot less now. And it's more of like a joking thing than like a serious thing. I feel like that was probably more of a high school thing. It makes sense. Oh, I'm sad and my hormones are all out of whack. I don't know what to do. But yeah, if you're single on Valentine's Day, you're not alone. You got your pal, Greg. He's on the radio show host, man. He'll talk you through it all. He'll soothe you with his voice. He'll go, hey, welcome to the Slamcast. It's me, Guy. I'm here to talk about whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of out of topics right now. I don't know what to talk about. Now I don't want to end it because I ended it on a really bad note by just saying that. Normally I ended on a super sick note, and I just, take it home. I slam it home. But yeah, hopefully with this exam out of the way, I have a few plans, a few things to look into, a few things to check out, which should improve this show, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, going back all the way to that earlier topic, do you guys ever I'm sure you do, but do you guys ever have any sort of mental things that you always do when you are getting stressed out about upcoming exams or something coming up soon? Because I always feel like that's one of my go-to things, is kind of just putting off other stuff that's less important. Like with me, it's just hobby stuff like video games or just this podcast thing. Let's say, well, I guess this thing is kind of a hobby thing. I really don't want to take weeks off of it though, so I'm glad this is all over. And I'm glad I recorded this without a list. But yeah. I'm just trying to remember what other stuff I had on a mental list. I really should have written it down, folks. I screwed up. Screwed up big time. But not actually. It's fine. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. I really don't have anything else to say. Almost hit the 25-minute mark, so that's not terrible. I'm just going to moan into the... That's great. Great content. I'm just going to moan into the microphone until y'all just leave. No, that's not actually what I'm going to do. I was hoping I could drive it out till 25 minutes, but that's not looking likely. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. If you're celebrating Valentine's Day tomorrow, or if you already did, depends on when you're listening to this, I hope you have a great one with your significant other, whoever you're spending it with. I hope it's fun. I hope it's loving. I hope it's romantic. Oh. But most importantly, I also hope it is warm, because tomorrow is also supposed to be extremely cold. So I feel bad for anybody who's actually leaving the house tomorrow. 'Cause that's going to be shitty. Also, for all you Canadian listeners out there, so basically 100% of you. I'm pretty certain it's 100% of you. Also, want to wish you, if this hasn't already happened, if it has, I hope it was a marvelous one. Have a lovely family day. I know it seems like a lot of people don't actually, at least from what I've heard, don't go out of their way to spend time with their family on family day. But hey, it's a free holiday that we got, so we get to take the day off. So, do what you want to do. Spend time with your family. If not, maybe, I don't know, shoot them a text, call them up on the phone, say, hey, family, I appreciate you. You smart. You respectful. I appreciate you. Call up DJ Khaled while you're at it. Tell him that you a genius. Another one, etc. Other, never ending with these DJ Khaled jokes, folks. Never gonna stop with those jokes. But honestly, hope you have a great Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great family day. Hope you enjoy those. Hope you're not too cold. And yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you all have a great day.